Hello everyone, this is Ashish Saini from Innovate Yourself. Welcome back to my channel. Once again, I am back with a new video on Python programming for the beginners, and in today's session I will show you that how you can link your Python programming with your Postgres database and accordingly how you can retrieve the data from the database. So that is all that I will be showing to you in my today's session. Now let's not waste time and let's understand how you can retrieve the data from the database and accordingly you can use it further in whatever way you want to use it. Now let's get started and let's see how to do that. Alright, so you can see right now that this is a program which we have already created in the last video where we have already seen that how you can create a database through the Python programming, plus how you can create the table, plus how you can insert the data to that table. So that is all that you have seen in a previous session. Similarly, now as I said that I will be creating, or let's say I will be creating some new object based on which I will be just retrieving my data from the database. From that table where we have inserted some data previously. So that is all that I will be doing right now. Now let's see how to do that part, right? So over here, like this is a query. Now let me do one thing. Let me write another query 2. Now over here, just let me add it, and in here I just want to check, or let's say I just want to let's say extract all the data. It can be all the data, it can be some of the data. That's up to me, like how much data I want, right? So for that I will simply type select star from where I want to extract it from test underscore table, like this. So this is how I will be doing it. Now over here, instead of executing that, I have to execute my second query, right? Now when I will be executing it, now the next thing is that this query has been executed. Now whatever data I will get, that data I will not get directly. In fact, this is not going to print any data for me, right? So what should I do in that case? In that case, now the next thing is commit is actually not required because here we are not making any updates to the database. So that's why we can comment this for now, right? Now over here, let me show you how you can collect the data. For example, I will simply type a new object, let's say data object, where I will be storing all my data, and that data will be coming from the cursor, because cursor is an object through which we have executed the query. Now cursor is the one which is going to take care of all your data that you have with you. So that is how we will be using this, like cursor dot. Now from here I will be executing, or let's say I will be calling one of my method which is fetch all. Fetch all we are using right now to fetch all the data. We have fetch one as well to fetch one data. We have fetch many to fetch how much data I want to fetch. So that is all we have over here, and based on our situation we can collect the data. But right now I will be collecting all the data, so that's why I will be like fetching all the data from here. So with respect to this, I will be having all my data inside my data object. Now the next thing is that I want to see that what data I'm having right now. So for that, let me do one thing. Let me simply print the data, right? So that I can see what data I'm actually having inside this, right? So let me just run this now. Now go to run. Now can you see right now what I'm having? I'm having a list containing one tuple, and in that tuple I'm having 3 elements, and those 3 elements are the 3 fields. One is ID, one is name, third one is email ID. So this is how I'm having this. Suppose if I will change this now, for example it's ID and name now. Now if I will run it, now let's see what will be the changes. Okay, it's not showing it to me. Okay, maybe I have written the wrong thing over here, because it's employee ID, right? Employee ID, right? So let me run it now. All right, now perfect, right? So can you see employee ID is this, name is this. So just because this time I'm only fetching for 2 fields, so that's why I have 2 fields data over here. Otherwise I can have multiple data as well, right? So this is all about this. Now similarly, let me do one more thing. Let me copy this one, paste it over here, copy this one, paste it over here and execute the one query only, right? Now let me run it. Now here, just because the key is already present, so that's the reason it will show you this error, that key error, it is already existing, so we can't update the same ID, right? So let me do one thing, let me add some more data, and based on that, let me show you how I'm going to get the data, right? So let me add it to, let's say it's Ashish Saini, and it's right. So one more data I'm trying to add. Now let me try to add it. Okay, so can you see I have the data. Now one more thing you have seen right now, and that is that you can execute multiple queries. So with this command I'm executing my first query, and one more thing is I'm executing my second query. With respect to this, I'm collecting all my data. So this is how I'm just adding the data, and this is how I'm just getting the data. So this is all about it, right? So I have added the data here, I have collected the data here. So this is how I'm getting it. And one more thing you can notice over here, that you have a list. Previously we were having a single data, but now we are having two data. One is for the first one, for the first user, second one is for the second user, or let's say the second employee. So this is how we can have multiple data. Now we can put star as well, right? So in this way you can have the data. Now suppose I don't only directly want to store this data, I don't directly want to display whatever data I have collected. Instead, what I want to do is I just want to display it in a proper format. So to do that, what I will be doing is I can simply use for I in what is the data I'm having over here, and inside data I have a list, and in that list I am having multiple tuples containing 3 different elements. So let me do one thing, instead of putting a single variable, let me pass 3 different variables. Let's say ID, name, email. So this is how I will be typing it. Now let's do one thing, I just want to print it in this way. Print, let's say ID, let's say employee ID column. This is the first one, right? Now press enter, and over here the second one, which is name, and write the name. Similarly write the email column like this. Now last thing we can do over here is use the format. You can simply put ID comma name comma email. So this is how we can simply add it. And one more thing I can add over here is print, let's say star multiply by, let's say 30, just to make a separator in between the each user data, right? So this is what exactly I'm doing. Now if I will run it, let's see what will be the output. Can you see? This is my first user data, this is my second user data, and similarly if I will have multiple other data as well, so that will be printed in such a way. So this is how I can collect the data from the database, and accordingly I can display it, or I can use it in whatever way I want to use it. Currently I have just used it to display it, but you can use it to further perform some actions, and that action can be, for example, to send an email to anybody, to send some notification to someone, so whatever it is. So that's up to you now, like how you want to use it. And this is the way how you can retrieve the data. Now you can get the data based on whatever conditions you want to do. Right now I have written a simple condition, I have written a simple query to select it, but now you can modify it as per you. Like you can select ID and name as I shown. Similarly you can put a condition based on that, like select star from table name, where put some condition. So in this way also you can get the data. So that is all that how you can fetch the data, and that is all that how you can retrieve the data from the database, right? So this is all about it. So that is it for today. I hope everything is clear to you, but still if you are facing any difficulties in understanding any of the topic, feel free to leave a comment below in the comment section. And also if you have any feedback for us, feel free to leave a comment as well. So that is all about it. And if you have liked this video, do click on the like button. And if you are new to our channel, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, do click on the subscribe button so that you do not miss any videos from our channel. And also you can press the bell icon if you want to get a notification whenever we will upload a new video. So that is it for today. Till then, bye bye and happy learning.